It's New Comic Book Day, and you know what that means? It's time for another haul video. But before we get to that, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button and hit the like button on the video. Also, drop a comment, let me know what you've picked up this week for New Comic Book Day. All right, let's get to it. Welcome back, everybody. Let's dive into this week's New Comic Book Day haul. So this week, there actually weren't a lot of new books for me to read, but there were some covers on some of the new books that I was reading and some reprints that I picked up this week that were really good. And then I decided to go digging in some of the boxes at my LCS and found something really cool on the wall. So let's start off with the new stuff that I'm reading. So picked up Fantastic Four number 24. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue reading the Fantastic Four. I started reading them again with the Empire tie-in. Figured I'd pick this one up, one, because I really like the Thing, so this Alex Ross cover is really cool. But two, it sounded like there was an interesting story about Iceman and the Human Torch. And there's that Thor Nexus War Fortnite tie-in to this. I briefly looked at that. I don't think I want to read that story that's in here, but for those that didn't know about that, that's an interesting thing in this issue. The story itself for the Fantastic Four was, like I thought, a filler kind of issue. Next issue, though, I'm actually looking forward to what the story is going to be about. Sounds like somebody that's dead is coming back, so I'm looking forward to that. So wanted to see what happened in 24 to make sure it didn't tie into that. Let's go to what I got, indie titles, and then I'm going to come back to a Marvel title that is pretty cool. So I got Inkblot number 1, second printing. So this actually, the authors of Inkblot are Emma Kubert and Rusty Glad. Emma Kubert of the Kubert family. And so she actually did this cover. I think this was done with her dad. I think Andy Kubert's her dad. I could be wrong, could be her uncle. But they did this cover together. So that's really cool. I love this cat. He's just like the funniest thing. And so this is a really good story. If you haven't read it already, I recommend it for a light read, a comical kind of read. Doesn't make you think too much, but it has enough world building that it's just, I just love it. I don't have really good words for it right now, but that cover is pretty cool. So let's go on the reprint run here. Wind number 1 from Boom Studios by James Tynion and Michael Dialenis. This is the third printing for Wind number 1. And We Only Find Them When They're Dead by Al Ewing and Simone Di Maio is on its third printing as well. So this is one of the gods. Not sure if fallen yet or not, but I think probably dead, since we only find them when they're dead. Beautiful art though, I love it. And then Sea of Stars number 7. I haven't read this yet, but it's next on my to-read list. I've loved this series. I thought it ended with number 5 before, but now it's going through another 5 issues or so, and then maybe they're just gonna be going in cycles, but really cool. And so the big indie read of the week was the Department of Truth number 1. So I have cover A here and cover B, which I didn't realize this, but this is a Jenny Frison variant. I've been picking up a lot of her art recently, so this is pretty cool. And this story, I read it. So I'll say what I think. I'm not gonna spoil anything in it. I will probably do a full spoiler review in the next couple days though, just so that I can get those full thoughts out there. So the art on the cover of cover A is similar to the kind of art that you see inside of the book, which, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the style. I think the artwork is really good, but like, I love it on the cover, but it makes reading the story a little hard. Especially there's a part where they say somebody's smiling, and I look at the picture and I can't see that they're smiling. It's a little weird. But this story is like phenomenal. Story is a 5 out of 5. Art for me is like a 2 out of 5 for comic book art, but as like just appreciating art, it's really good. So love the story, love the whole concept behind the fact that, you know, these conspiracy theories could be true, and there's a whole department that's trying to not allow that to happen. So it's just so awesome. And the reveal at the end as to who the guy is from the Department of Truth is pretty, I didn't see it coming. I probably should have seen it coming, but I didn't. So I loved it. Great first issue. I'm gonna keep reading it because I'm hooked on the story now. I know the artist is probably not going to change because this is, you know, the way that most of these more independent driven titles go is that it's, you know, it's a certain creative team that creates the property, and so it's their property, and you know, they're gonna keep on it, versus like Marvel, DC, if they switch out an artist for an issue or two here or there, it doesn't really change anything that's going on. So I loved it. Overall, I'll come up with a full rating and everything when I go into a deeper dive review with it, but that's my initial thoughts right now. So the other really cool thing that came out this week was Strange Academy number 3 with Doyle Dormammu on cover A, and then we had an Alex Ross cover with Doctor Strange on it, which is, this is just, Alex Ross has been killing it on these covers, but I'm only picking up covers for books that I'm reading, so I'm not going to try to get all of them, but really cool art. And then this one, which is the character spotlight variant, and again, I'm still blanking on her name. Her name doesn't actually come up in this issue. But it's really cool. They kind of take a field trip outside of the academy. It's the weekend. They're, you know, seeing New Orleans. And so for me, this book has another kind of second level of appreciation because I recently moved to New Orleans. And so living in New Orleans and experiencing some of these things, they're going out and, you know, checking out the French Quarter, like, that's all really familiar to me in those types of explorations of the city. So really cool. And then also with Strange Academy was this beautiful 4th printing for number 1. And so this is the Walmart variant, but with a black or a red background instead of a white background. So this is, you know, another top-notch cover for this book. I think of all the 2nd, 3rd, 4th prints, I don't know, this one may be my favorite now. I love the purple 2nd print with Doctor Strange's cape open and they're all kind of coming out of it. I think that's really cool. But this one with the red, I love the red crisp background. That's probably my favorite now. And so I also got, I don't know what variant this is. It was sitting in my pool box. I think it might be a 1 in 25, but it's done by Ryan Ottley. So awesome art. It's really cool. They're all like angry on it. I love this this whole design concept that was done here, how that he came up with the cover, was really cool. Unfortunately, so the front looks good. The back has all kinds of color rubs on it. So I think I got it for cover price, so not too upset there. But I was a little disappointed in the color rubs that ended up being on it. So I went digging and found some other things. So Hawkeye number 9. So this has been a hot book recently. I know the newsstand version of this and the second printing version of this have both been doing way better, but for finding this for pretty much cover price, it was like a quarter over the cover price. And I think the last sale was like $30 on eBay, so this was a cool find. It's the first appearance of some villain who's speculated to be part of the show, but there's no real proof yet that he's going to be part of the show. And then I found some Miss Marvel books. So this is number 2 of her first, the Kamala Khan Volume 1. So that was cool. So that should be, I guess that would be maybe her 3rd appearance as Miss Marvel. And so she's still also figuring out her powers in this. This is when she still looks like Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel. And then number 3, I think, is such a cool cover. There's just cool things to pick up. And number 4, another great cover. And you know, when I started reading Miss Marvel, I started after she came out, so I didn't get to pick her issues up as they were coming out. So I picked up a trade paperback of the volume 1 and 2, and then had issues like 17, 18, 19 or something, whatever the end ones were before Secret Wars started. I think that's what that event was. So that was, you know, cool to get to go back and pick up some of these books. And then we've got some Spider-Man, of course. So I keep picking this one up because I'd love to see Spider-Man UK appear at some point in either the Spider-Verse animated films or the MCU one day. And bonus, it's a crossover with Miss Marvel. Issue 8, Spider-Girl's Last Stand, is also the first appearance of Silk's proper costume. So she had been only wearing the webbed costume up until this point. So that's a cool one. And then, since I still haven't gotten all of the Spider-Verse books, I'm picking up those as I find them. And so speaking of Silk, we got this cool Spider-Woman number 3 with Silk and Spider-Woman on it. And then moving on to Spider-Woman, she gets her new costume in issue 5. So depending on, you know, what we see happen with her in the future, this is a costume she has, this is a costume she has, and we also now have the black costume that she has in the current series. So she's definitely an interesting character, and I always want to catch up on the things that I've missed happened in the past. Also, my store just put several of these on the shelf. So this is the first appearance of Ultimatum. So this is the evil Miles Morales. And so I've been picking up those because he's a great Miles villain to kind of pick up and see. I think we'll see him back lots of times in the future interacting with Miles. And so my big purchase of the week for a really great price, I feel. I've been trying to find this book on eBay for this price. Couldn't catch it in the auctions going on, and all of the buy it now prices were way too high. So here is Century number 1, the San Diego Comic-Con variant. I I just love this style on the cover. And so this was super exciting. I saw it on just hanging up and I was like, yep, gotta get it. So that was my big purchase of the week. Really, really love this. And there's all this Century speculation about the King in Black series. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna see that there's some connection that he's the god of light. I really doubt that. I think he's going to play a role in the event, but I also think everybody in the Marvel Universe is going to play a role in that event, because the way they have built Null up, it sounds like you're gonna need every single hero, maybe even some villains, fighting Null. And so Sentry is very high powered, so they need him. They need him on the field fighting. So that's what I think is why we saw that panel, why Ryan Stegman posted that. He's just part of the story. I could be 100% wrong. And if you have thoughts on this, drop a comment below and we can talk about it. But I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. That's my haul. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to be notified every time I play a video, or post a video rather, hit the bell button to get those notifications. And if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. And yeah, stay tuned for more great content. And as always, collect what you love. See you next time.